Hey everyone, this is Daniel.
And I'm Jun,
And we are
Korean.
American.
Hey Daniel,
Hey Jun.
how's your weekend?
Good.
It's cool because we now record on Monday mornings, so we can naturally talk about our weekends.
Yeah. As opposed to our previous normal recurring recording time, which was Fridays.
Yeah.
And it's like, weekend was so long ago. Yeah. I ate jokbal for the first time.
For the first time?
Yeah, so-
How was it?
Okay.
You said you wouldn't like it. Like
Yeah,
the
I
idea of
really
it.
did not like the look of it or the idea of it because of the texture is kind of soft and mushy.
Yeah.
And I think that texture is not very common in American food, but I think in
Yeah.
Korean food it's more common. Yeah, I loved it. So the
You
story-
loved it?
I really loved it.
Cool. Now we can have jokbal together.
You love it?
Because it's like one of my favorite foods.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jun, yeah. So the reason, let me share the story. I was having a play date with my third daughter who goes to Yuchiwan, so Korean kindergarten.
Our friend EH.
EH.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went to his house, and then we were watching the girls were playing, and then we were watching basketball, and then we were like, oh, what do you want to eat?
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, we can order chicken, or we can order jokbal, or we can get like hue. And I was like, you seem to really want jokbal. He was
Yeah.
like, no, whatever you want. But I could tell he really wanted
Yeah.
it. So
it's like a I think it's like a man food.
yeah. Oh, he says he gets it very regularly, but combined with, he very clearly wanted to eat it with the fact that I'm watching a drama right now that's the English translation is My Roommate is a Gumiho. But the female lead in this drama, she's obsessed with jokbal. So actually that goes counter to what you're saying. But her character is kind of quirky.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that she loves it is also part of the quirkiness.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's like it doesn't have like a
Male connotation.
maybe it's but it is in my mind it's like I can see how some women can find it kind of gross.
Yeah. It's like really fatty and greasy. Yeah.
No, because it's like feet.
Oh, that too. I want to get into that in
Yeah.
a second. But just to finish the thought, I actually think if this is more associated with like men liking it, that would fit her character. Like she's just this really quirky, kind of free-spirited character. Anyway, so those two things combined with the fact that I've never had it,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So I had jokbal for the first time. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't really necessarily like the too chewy and soft kind of texture,
Yeah.
there are it comes with different parts.
Yes, exactly. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was entirely just the
Very fatty part.
like
right?
that soft
Yeah.
whatever what's the word,
Smushy.
collagen-y, like
Yeah, yeah.
collagen-y
Yeah.
texture part. But it's not only that. Yeah, it's like some half of that and half of regular meat, and then there's just regular firm meat.
Yes.
So yeah.
So you got only the firm meat?
No, I didn't eat the pure collagen
Yeah.
skin part, whatever.
Yeah.
But I ate the mixed one very, very well and very deliciously. It was
Cool.
great. Yeah.
Nice. I'm so glad.
I don't know why I had avoided it for so long. And then he was shocked. He was like, "You never had jokbal?" Like, and then he was, I think, more excited to introduce me
Yeah.
to jokbal. Yeah. So
Wait, which one did you order? You probably don't know.
Gugujok? Gugujok, yeah. He
I literally had it 2 days ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyways,
It's good.
it's very
I
good.
thought you were going to judge, be like, "Oh, it's not good."
Okay, now that you like jokbal,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but in some of our previous episodes, I talked about my favorite restaurants around the area.
Yeah.
And number one is
Was
a
it jokbal
jokbal chip.
place? Okay.
And it's not even a franchise, nor is it a chain.
Dude, that's perfect for me. I
It's
like
like
that.
it's like Bundang Pride
Oh,
almost.
let's go.
We have to go.
But Jun, okay, the reason why apart from EH loving jokbal, June, it's winter time.
Yes.
Which also means it's gimjang season.
Yes.
So I don't know if we want to go into it now, but so gimjang is when traditionally your family gets together
Yeah.
and makes kimchi
Yes.
for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Traditionally, yes.
Okay, for the upcoming year.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know. It must be winter is when you harvest cabbage. I don't know. But this is gimjang season, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
So-
not necessarily when you harvest.
Yeah.
I think it's because now you're preparing for winter
Ah,
where
okay,
you
okay.
don't get regular produce anymore.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're making
Oh,
this.
time to ferment. That's a good
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So traditionally, there's a culture in which on the gimjang day, you eat it with some other stuff.
jokbal?
But it's not necessarily jokbal though.
Okay.
It's 보쌈,
Oh, yeah.
which in most jokbal restaurants they would
also
sell
serve
together.
보쌈. Yeah.
I mean, it's a very blurred line between what a jokbal is. Maybe not. So 보쌈 is just pure. It's like the meat part.
Yeah.
Jokbal is made out of like the pork's feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into that before we move on. Jokbal, again, for our audience, I think it's usually translated as pig trotters,
Trotters, yeah.
which I just find the name hilarious. I don't know. Eating trotters to me sounds fun and funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pig feet,
Yeah.
which even when I'm eating it, I don't understand how this is pig's feet. But I think, yeah, the idea of it combined with the texture of it is why I was put off by it for so long. But anyway, yeah, I've come around. I wanted to go into the name a bit though, because I thought bal in jokbal was the feet.
Yeah.
So then I asked what the jok was.
It's a feet.
And then he was like, feet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the term for this dish is feet?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's one of those weird Korean words.
It's kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do Koreans not think about this anymore because it's just assumed?
Yeah, I don't think they think about it.
Okay.
Jokbal.
But what is jok like the Chinese word for feet?
Yes.
Okay,
And then
so-
the pal is the pure Korean.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'd be curious to know how this name came about. Because I assumed jok was a Chinese word for daeji or for pork, right? That's just what I assumed, which I think is fair. It's pig feet, so anyway.
Sometimes there's a Chinese word for pork, which is 저. Maybe it started off with 저발 and then became jokbal. I don't know. Just making things up. Anyways, I'm surprised that you know about gimjang and how they eat it with 보쌈.
Well, I was educated yesterday.
Oh. It is.
Specifically, the 보쌈 kimchi is the long 무, right? Is that right?
The long mu.
Isn't that the type? There's like a 보쌈 kimchi specifically.
Oh, it's not mu. It's just 배추.
Oh, is it 배추?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But 보쌈 kimchi is kind of like your gimjang kimchi,
Yeah.
meaning that it's not fermented, right?
That's
it's just
right,
made
yeah.
fresh, so it has a different flavor and
And
texture
that's
to it.
gochori, right? Gochori? No.
겉절이 and gimjang kimchi is kind of different.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah. 겉절이 is almost like instant kimchi, where it's sort of like prepared as a salad, kind of.
Oh,
Whereas
interesting.
gimjang kimchi is made for you to ferment, but you're just having it right away.
away.
Yeah. I think it's the seasoning might be a little bit different, but that's an interesting point. Maybe they're same.
Jun, I think you're a kimchi aficionado. So again, as I was eating the jokbal with the fresh kimchi, the reason why did I say this already? No, I don't think I said it. The reason why he really wanted to eat jokbal, in addition to just loving it, being
Yeah.
one of his favorite foods,
Yeah.
is that he was like, we just got all this fresh kimchi from gimjang, and like our neighbors have been bringing it over.
Yeah.
And he was like, I tried it last night. I was like, this kimchi's so good.
Yeah.
But we just had it with rice. And he's like, I must have this with jokbal. And I don't know, that culture to me, I don't know, it feels very nostalgic to me. It's like a fantasy version of, that's the Korea I wanted to move to, June.
Yeah.
Where your neighbors are making kimchi multi-generationally together. They're bringing kimchi and sharing kimchi and swapping it with each other. And then you're eating it fresh kimchi, that someone made and gave to you with the food that it's supposed to be accompanied with. I don't know. That to me is like the Korean fantasy. And so I felt anyway, it was an awesome introduction to jokbal. And I think it also made me realize that there probably are still pockets of this, older school, older generation Korean culture and mentality. I just wasn't aware of it. So
Yeah. I think gimjang culture is kind of going away because it's so accessible and a lot of people live alone now.
yeah.
So like what's the point of doing gimjang anyways? So they just buy it off the store.
Yeah.
But traditionally, even when I was growing up, it was definitely a thing where all the families do it together. Not together, but like they
As a
just do
family.
it. Yeah. I just remember there's a process during gimjang where you have to soak the cabbage in brine. And I vividly remember that my grandmother used to use my, maybe this is kind of gross, the bathtub as the vessel to do it.
I mean, I could see modern Koreans thinking it's gross. I don't think it's gross. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I was just trying to depict the
The volume.
the volume in which you produce all the kimchi.
Yeah.
Now, even when my mom does gimjang, she does just like less than 10 of the cabbages.
Okay.
Yeah, which is not even considered gimjang back in the days. Yeah. They used to do like hundreds.
I was going to ask, does your mom or family still do gimjang?
I think my mom would. Yeah. But
When
like
was the last time you participated?
I never participated
What?
ever.
Really? Even growing up?
Participation for me means that I like run up to my mom and like
Try it?
Yeah.
She puts it in your mouth?
Yeah. That's the best part.
Oh, the fresh kimchi.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would love to participate in a gimjang myself, if possible. So,
So the thing that you did over the weekend is very in tune with the topic that we're trying to talk
this is why I
about.
wanted to bring it up too.
But you know what's interesting? The things that I did, the things that I did.
We're also very on point.
Yes.
Oh, what did you do this weekend, Jun?
We're gonna talk about this later, but I did two things that are very aligned or like in season.
Oh, I know one of them. Okay, yeah.
You know one of them? You know what I did during my weekend?
Bangohe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you sent the picture.
Oh, yes, I sent you the picture. It's a thing that Koreans eat during winter, bangohe. And
bango, is a type of fish.
I just learned that it's called yellowtail.
Oh, yellowtail.
Maybe it has a yellow tail.
Delicious.
But you know what's interesting? It wasn't a thing. It just became a recent thing.
Oh, okay.
Like I want to say 10 years ago-ish. It was never a thing that people eat bangohe when I was growing up.
It's not your traditional Korean hue, the Korean fish, right?
It's not.
Yeah.
It just became a thing somehow.
Isn't yellowtail? Is it hamachi in Japanese? Yeah, I mean it's one of the most famous sushi cuts in America, at least for Japanese sushi.
It's like one of those fish tribes tied together with like tuna, mackerel. In Korea, we call it 등푸른 생선. Like where their backs are kind of blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they all have a similar kind of flavor to it. Kind of tangy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing about these fish is that the water has to be cold enough for them to create like a layer of fat.
Yeah. For them to be tasty.
Because the flavor all comes from the fat part. So that's why Korean people love to have bangoe in winter, which I did 2 days ago. It was amazing.
I'm curious why it started though, because again, this has been, as far as I know, a very, very popular traditional cut in Japanese sushi for forever, right? So
Maybe it was just not accessible.
It's an more expensive cut though than the traditional fish they use for Korean sushi, right? I suspect it is. Was it not expensive?
Not necessarily, because there's like traditionally you have like kwangeo,
Yes, yeah.
which
more
is
chewy.
halibut, I think.
Oh, is it? I don't know. I believe you.
That one I think might be more expensive than bango.
Oh, well, I'm definitely gonna get some bango head.
You should. Also,
Yeah, what was the second thing you did?
yesterday I went to a concert.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
You've been going to a lot of concerts, by the way,
I have.
and upcoming too.
Yes.
Okay.
I went to this J-pop rock band concert. There's a recent trend where J-pop is kind of like up and rising again in Korea.
I've heard actually.
Yeah. It's they're very popular in Japan right now. They're called Higedan. They have like like Japanese bands have like the weirdest names. I don't know if like other Westerners might view Korean bands that way.
You said the same thing about Korean band names too, though, or at least I said it. I don't know if.
But I feel like Japanese bands are weirder.
Okay.
Their full name is Official Higedandism, which is like a weird combination of English and Japanese. Anyways,
Yeah.
they're amazing.
Okay. So they're a big group, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Because anyway, I happen to know some younger people who are doing like a startup here, and they're trying to organize all the smaller indie underground music
cool.
events. But they also, this is why I was nodding along. It's like they also said kind of J-pop
Yeah.
and Japanese groups are becoming very popular, especially in the indie underground music
Yes.
scene. So, but you went to one of the bigger concerts.
The thing about the difference between K-pop and J-pop is that K-pop is very like boy band, girl band. The so-called, in Korea, we call it idol. Culture is very dominant.
Yeah.
Whereas in Japan, I think it's still the indie rock scene. Man, they were really good. The reason why I say that it's a seasonal thing is that in Korea, winter, like especially December, is the time where all the artists and singers are doing their year-end concert.
Oh, okay.
So it's a thing for Koreans to go to these concerts during December.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That resonates with me just because in dramas, they always depict the scene of like, the idol group having a big concert and everyone's in like their really heavy winter coats, long padding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I also, let's see. Oh, I went grocery shopping on Saturday, I think. Strawberries are back.
Strawberries.
It's strawberry season.
Yeah.
Korean strawberries are awesome. Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about that on this pod before. I think they're in season starting now. And sure enough, I was excited to get it because my kids always ask for strawberries. And I'm always like, they're not good. They're not in season. But they are back. And so we bought a bunch and they are delicious as ever. Yeah.
As far as I remember, I always thought that strawberry was a spring thing. And now I know that because there are two different ways of harvesting strawberry. One we call it house 딸기, like when you grow it in the greenhouse. And then one where you just grow it in the field. The one that you grow in the field would come out spring-ish, and the one that's harvested in the greenhouse comes like now.
Okay. See, I didn't know that either.
The thing about strawberries, though, I heard that American strawberries taste very bland and watery. I've heard multiple times Korean people complaining about American strawberries, which I never thought was a thing. I definitely have tried strawberries in the States before, but I never thought it was that different. But apparently it's a thing.
I will confirm that once you try, I would call them Asian strawberries, so Japanese or Korean strawberries, I think are both just amazing. They're so sweet and delicious. Before having them, I never would have thought American strawberries are not that good. But yeah, in comparison, there is no comparison. American strawberries they're very like plump and crisp, but watery. And so they're just not as sweet. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But they're humongous too. So
yeah.
I was just gonna say though, Jun, like I never realized they were this is so obvious, right? But I never realized they were seasons to things before moving here.
What?
Right? Like
because you used to live in the Bay Area.
The one thing is that oysters are in season in these months, right? There's a season for oysters that I knew. I would always look it up when oysters are fresh, when are they going to be good. But for most produce, for me, it's just available and accessible year round. And, I wasn't thinking about necessarily, where are these coming from? When are they the freshest? When are they the tastiest? I might have noticed when I was eating them, like, the strawberries aren't as good today or this time, but I could still get them and they're still good enough. Whereas, something I wanted to bring up is in Korea, they just stop things entirely when they're out of season. Like, I don't think you can even buy strawberries at the grocery when they're out of season. Or at least I remember trying to go at least 2 or 3 times. Yeah. And I couldn't find them because my kids were asking for them. I was like, I'll go look for them. And my American mind was just assuming, okay, I'll get strawberries. Why wouldn't I be able to? But I couldn't even find them at the grocery store. The other thing is, we both love binsu. They stopped selling it in the winter. Yeah. I want binsu in the winter. Like, what's up with that?
The only place where you can find bingsu is if you go to an actual bingsu.
Like soda being, I see. But, Paris Baguette or Artisan, like some of the bakeries nearby that sell binsu. I went in with my kids. They're so excited. I've been like, hey, if you do this well, we're going to get binsu. And then we sit down and they're like, that we're no longer serving that. This concept to me is so foreign. Like, why wouldn't you serve binsu in the winter? There's demand. I want binsu in the winter. Do Koreans not eat binsu in the winter?
I think it's just because there's low demand.
So
Yeah.
demand does drop significantly.
Yeah, because it's cold. But do you find it more annoying, or are you more appreciative about the seasonal differences?
I'm annoyed. Why would I be appreciative?
It's
I
like
want
that,
binsu. I want strawberries.
but it's like, doesn't it go hand in hand with like that nostalgic feeling of like having to
only
do
special.
gimjang
Yeah.
in winter and stuff like that?
So yeah, I could see over time me coming to appreciate this.
Yeah.
But building off of something we talked about, I think last episode or recently, where is it 당품? In the fall, Koreans are
당품.
like, oh, it's time to go see the leaves,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, oh, it's summer, it's time to go eat binsu. Or it's winter, it's time to go eat strawberries.
Yeah.
Or bungeoppang,
Yeah.
right? Bungeoppang's not really as available when it's not winter. Sometimes I just have the craving in the summer and I can't get it. So
Yeah.
I appreciate this in a sense that it does make it feel more special. But yeah, anyway, so I also want to say maybe it's because I spent so much of my, past 20 years living in California where there is only one season really.
Yeah.
That might be playing into this as well. But yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Is this just a very long intro, or are we just going it?
It's still the intro because I'm
Okay,
not done
okay.
with the intro yet. Okay, one more thing, June. On Thursday, which was American Thanksgiving.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was very sad because it was like the first year we weren't going to do anything at all.
Oh, you didn't go down to the base?
Yeah, but so Thursday, June, was the day we woke up to the blizzard, basically.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Or no, it started from Wednesday.
Wednesday evening, it started raining, snowing.
That was Tuesday.
Did it start Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay, Wednesday night it snowed a lot though.
Like night meaning like in the morning.
I think I think it started Wednesday, no?
Because I had 2 days of work from home because of the blizzard.
Which is probably Wednesday, Thursday for
Wednesday
you.
is Thursday, yeah.
Okay. Tuesday was when it first started, but Wednesday night was when it was heaviest. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But the reason I bring this up is because our older two kids, their school was canceled or at least moved to remote virtual learning Thursday. And so on Thanksgiving Day, our kids were not in school. And so originally I was very sad because I had plans to go to an army base. But then I was like, well, why not just go with the kids too? And so I brought our third kid. This is something I want to get into, June. Their Korean Yuchiwan was not canceled, but we played hooky. We kept them from school. And I took the 3 older kids to the army base with a friend. And we got to have a real authentic, traditional American Thanksgiving meal. And yeah, it was glorious. I almost cried eating it because it just made me feel like so nostalgic for America and for home. And I think that it has so much significance to me. I think Thanksgiving and having a proper traditional Thanksgiving meal. So yeah, I wanted to just share one thing, which was, well, I was asking one of the Koreans that was there with me, like, oh, when you eat this type of meal, what's your first impression? Is it salty? Is it delicious? Is it more like a, 신기해, like a peculiarity type thing? And she was like, no, the number one thing I think, and most Koreans would think, yang, like it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you eat so much food?
Yeah.
And it was funny because in line, everyone's plate was just so full of food, like not just us, but everyone around us. And then at the end of the meal, like, none of us had finished. Well, I finished my plate, but no one else had finished their plates.
Of course you did. Yeah.
It was like literally like barely half eaten. And then we were observing all around us. Everyone else's plate started with the same amount of food, but ended up clean. Like there was nothing left. And just definitely a good reminder of just the portion sizes and the amount of food that Americans consume is, at least an order of magnitude more than most Koreans.
But it's not only the sheer amount of food, it's like the content of the food. It's just like meat and
yeah.
carbs,
Yeah.
meat and carbs.
We had 3 different types of meats, probably 5 different types of carbs.
Yeah.
And then during the dessert, this is what I want to share. I've never seen this before. It was a triple-decker pie.
Oh, nice.
Okay, the top level was, I don't know, some generic cake. But then the middle level of the pie was pumpkin pie.
Oh, nice.
And then the bottom level of the pie was pecan pie.
Oh.
Even just looking at it was like, I'm just going to get diabetes just by looking at this thing.
Yeah.
But I got one. I tried it. It was gross. It was delicious. It was American.
Yeah. Is it good though? It just feels like one of those foods that doesn't have a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, yeah.
It just mix everything together.
I prefer,
Maybe
I'm a
it's good.
purist. I just prefer one at a time. So I would have rather had my pumpkin pie slice than my pecan pie slice. But yeah.
God, it's been so long since I had pumpkin pie. They don't have like the pumpkin spice seasonal tradition here in Korea.
Do they not bring out pumpkin spice lattes?
No, they don't sell it in Starbucks.
You're right. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I brought home a slice of pumpkin pie for my wife because I thought this is the quintessential American Thanksgiving pie food.
But you know what they have in Starbucks in Korea that is seasonal that they might not have in the States?
What?
The cherry blossom flavor.
Oh, for sure that doesn't exist in the States.
In spring, which I find interesting
Yeah.
because there is no taste to cherry blossom.
It's a
But
marketing
somehow when you have it, it tastes like cherry blossoms.
Okay. It does make you feel like cherry
There's like
blossoms.
a little bit of like rosy scent to it, and it's like pinkish.
Anyway, let's see anything else.
God, now I'm craving for pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, June. So let's use that as a way to actually introduce our topic today and transition a bit, which is I just felt like we had to talk about the snowfall that happened, last week.
Yes.
And it made me very reminiscent and nostalgic of my childhood in America. And I don't know, I love the snow. And the fact that our kids had the school day off, essentially. It was virtual remote learning, but I think, at their age, I would prioritize them having wonderful snow experiences over, doing a couple assignments. Anyway, they finished their classwork, and then we had a great day after that.
To describe a little bit of context of how much it snowed, they say that it was the most snow in 117 years that they
Yeah.
had in November.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they only say 117 years is because that's when they started measuring the weather.
Yeah. So the most snowfall in November ever, basically.
Almost, yeah. It was crazy.
I think it snowed.
In Wednesday, they say 16 centimeters.
I had read 15 plus centimeters. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of snow.
It was crazy.
Yeah. And then, what was I going to say?
Do you like snow?
Yeah, June, I love snow. Yeah, I absolutely love snow. Yeah, June, I wanted to play kind of a mini game with you,
Oh, nice.
but just fill in the sentence.
Excited.
So when you were a kid,
Yes.
when you woke up and saw it was snowing or that there was snow outside, the first thing you wanted to do was blank.
Oh, make a snowman.
Make a snowman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about snowmans though.
Let's talk about snowmen now.
You know what's the biggest difference between Korean snowmans and an American snowman?
Okay. Let me take a guess. I have two guesses.
I think you're gonna get it.
Korean snowmen only have two parts, not three.
Yes.
Yes. We did not plan this. I had one other observation, June.
I have to.
Okay.
And this is very interesting culturally.
The other guess I was going to make, June, is see, I'm always so hesitant to say things like this. The eyes.
Oh, it's similar, but
Okay.
I had a different observation.
I was going to say I saw a lot of snowmen outside with eyes that were just like sticks.
Yeah.
Like the slits.
Yeah.
Whereas your very traditional American snowman has stones, circle stones for eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Similarly, traditionally American snowmans do their noses with a carrot.
Yes, yes.
Whereas in Korea, it's just also a slit.
I had more snowman observations, June.
And yeah, I don't want to go into racism, but it is like
It's true, it's true.
biologically, Americans have more round eyes,
It's
and
accurate.
the noses are more pronounced than Asian noses.
Oh, I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's just either lack of carrots or the fact that it's too wasteful to use a good carrot on a nose.
I mean, but if Koreans traditionally had noses like Westerners,
Yeah.
then they might have substituted with some other vegetable, right? Like the gimjang mousse.
Like a yarmu, like a small radish.
Yeah.
June, the other observation I made was some of these snowmen, their faces were so detailed. What I mean by that is they had put some like mini smaller sticks for eyebrows.
In Korea?
Yeah, in Korea. And I just saw them like etch out the smile like more carefully. Like I was like, oh, the face is so detailed.
Oh,
compared
they
to what
are.
I'm used to.
Oh, interesting.
And anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
K-beauty? K-beauty snowmans.
I had two interpretations of this. I think Koreans are just more into faces. They're more, this is, my thing with nunchi too, which is Koreans are very observant of faces. I think facial expressions and reading between the lines and just seeing what people are up to, like 표정 or whatever. Is that right?
표정, yeah.
표정, I just think they're much more observant and into faces, expressions, differences in faces, etc. And then my other thing was, I just feel like whatever Koreans do, they try to do it very well. And so that's like, why wouldn't you build like the perfectly round snowman balls with like the perfect face design? I can just imagine like whoever made this snowman spending so much time making it the perfect snowman.
Yeah, I
Whereas,
can see that.
I don't know. I think certainly I bet you could find Americans who take that much delight into making a perfectly crafted snowman, but most wouldn't just care, right?
Wait, but think about how Americans trying to perfect their Christmas decorations.
Oh yeah, that's next level. I want to
Yeah.
get into that later.
Yeah. Which Korean people don't usually go up to that level, I think.
Yeah, because there's no utility to it, right?
But there's no utility in snowmans either. So I'm just trying to say that it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, these snowmen were much more aesthetically pleasing than what I'm used to seeing.
Nice.
Like perfectly round balls for the body. Like the face is so designed and detailed. I'm just like, man, this is artwork to me. It's not just like something to keep the kids busy.
Did you see any snow ducks?
Yes. Okay, let's get into this now, even though I had more games to play.
Oh, no.
To complete.
We can play more games.
No. Okay, let's do it later then. Okay, June. When I woke up and saw that it was snowing, though, the first thing I wanted to do was build a snow fort and have a snowball fight.
Oh, that's not a snowball fight is a thing, but we never built a fort.
Oh, well, where was your home base in snowball fights? You just ran around throwing balls at each other?
In like the school field.
Oh,
운동장.
okay.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't build like your home base and try to build up a big fort,
No.
build up your supply of snowballs and then like start going at it?
I wasn't ever that strategic with the snowball.
Would you pick teams or was it every man for themselves? Like describe your prototypical snowball fight growing up.
It's never a thing that you plan, let's do a snowball fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just, I think most of the time it just happens spontaneously.
Oh, okay.
Because like someone throws a snowball.
Yeah.
And then you throw it back to them.
Retaliation.
Yeah. And then it's like goes on for like 10 to 30 minutes. But it was never like something that you plan to do.
Oh, no. We planned it.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah. It's like, you get the kids together. It's like, oh, let's have a snowball fight. You pick teams, first of all. You divide up and then you build your fort. You build up your supply, your armaments of snowballs. And then you start throwing them at each other. But it was, yeah. So definitely there was a little bit more structure to it, I'd say. But yeah, that was the first thing I wanted to do. And then with the quick second was sledding. Did you sled growing up?
I think so. But
Okay.
mostly at a ski resort.
Oh, so not in like the hillside or a friend's backyard?
I might have.
You don't remember though?
You know, there's a traditionally Korean style sleds. It's like an ice sled though.
I don't know if I know.
I'm not even that generation though. It's my father's generation.
Is it like a toboggan? Is that what you're saying?
I don't even know what a toboggan is.
Okay.
But it's like a sled that they have a blade.
Yes. Two
Yeah.
blades on a flat thing.
It's-
Not the tube. There's now the circle tubes. And then there's the more traditional, now the cheap plastic things that
Yeah.
kids use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because traditionally in Korea, it was like a very agricultural, rural setting, right? So usually they have the rice paddy fields, which in wintertime is just filled with water and it's just like
frozen
nothing.
over?
So it's frozen over.
Yeah.
And then you like do the sledding on the ice.
Oh, I wanted to ask about that.
Yeah.
Okay. But so that was not like a core memory of yours when it's wintertime and it's snow, you go sledding?
It is definitely a memory, but not in the hillsides.
Okay.
I used to do it in the ski resorts. Yeah.
My neighborhood had two great hills where we would go, but one was so crowded and there's all these people and you're like fighting with the other kids to go down. But one of our friends, VC, if you're ever listening to this, I doubt it. I haven't talked to you in 30 years. But his backyard also had the perfect hill.
Oh.
So yeah, you'd like you carve out the pipe and like you make a ramp at the bottom and you go flying over it. And you just do it on loop forever and ever and ever until you thought you had to go home, right? So yeah, that was great. Okay. June, fill in the sentence. Next question.
This is
When
so
you came
fun.
home from playing in the snow, you would most look forward to blank.
I know what you're trying to say.
Well, I'm curious what the Korean version of what I'm going to say is.
There is no Korean version of that.
This is what I'm going to get to. Nothing. What would you do when you came home?
Hot bath.
Okay, hot bath.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I know what you're gonna say.
Okay. I mean, Americans, the quintessential thing is you come in and your parents have made you hot chocolate,
yeah.
with marshmallows. So,
It's so gross.
what? You're calling hot chocolate with marshmallows gross?
Putting
I have to defend America now.
putting marshmallows in the hot chocolate is like too over the top. Sweet. It's like that 3-decker pie thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you know the Monlab coffee. So when you get your cookies and cream shake, and they say, "Would you like fresh cream on top?" You say no. You say yes. Everyone says yes.
I never get something else than a Americano. But I know that some Korean people would do that. Yeah.
Are you not into like frozen, delicious dessert drinks?
I make my own ice cream. Hello?
So, okay. It's more of a quality thing then, or?
I don't know. I think it's just a conceptual thing. Maybe I would like it. I don't think I've ever had marshmallows in my hot chocolate.
This is like me never having jokbal until I'm 40 years old. June, you've never had marshmallows in your hot chocolate?
No.
Do you put whipped cream on your sundaes?
I can't even recall the time when I had a sundae before. But wait.
Yeah.
When I was living in Boston,
Yeah.
there was a very famous hot chocolate place. And it's because they sell hot chocolate in Korea too, but it's super, super watery, which is not the way that it's supposed to be.
No.
I think it's the first time when I had like the really thick type hot chocolate.
Yeah.
It was divine. It's so good. But that's the reason why I also think that putting marshmallows in your hot chocolate is kind of gross.
I see.
Because when your hot chocolate is so good, thick that way, you don't want to put anything else in there.
It's not about the additional sweetness that it brings.
Is
it's
it
more
the
the
texture?
fluffy, the fluffy texture and just the deliciousness that it is.
Yeah.
It's very festive in feeling. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. The other thing, I think, okay, I don't know if now's the time to talk about this, but traditionally, you take off all your wet clothes, right? In our house, we would lay them out by the air vents where the central air blows in hot air to help them dry, or you hang them up, right, to help them dry. But in Korea, with the ondol system, the underfloor heating, you lay out all your clothes on the ground, and it's just dry in like 30 minutes, not even. And I think, to Jun, I don't know if now is when I want to talk about it, but I love ondol in the winter. It's there's no better feeling than having like, walking on warm floors, or I know all the spots in our house where the ondol is particularly warm. And I love just lying down there like a cat. Like I just find that spot and I just lie down. It's so comfortable. Yeah, I'm so appreciative of it. And the fact that it also just dries your clothes super quick. Like normally if our kids spill something, we're like, oh, we have to clean it up, right? We don't become moldy or whatever. But in the winter in Korea, you just let it sit there and it's dry and like almost instantly. So it's very convenient. Yeah.
I almost wanted to say ondol is like the very first K culture export from Korea.
Is it exported?
Is it invented in Korea?
Oh, yeah, but I've never experienced it outside of, I mean, maybe some high-end bathrooms in like luxury houses have underfloor heating.
I think modern American apartments too, sometimes they have underfloor heating, they call
Really?
it. Yeah. Technically, it's called an ondol though.
Yeah.
They use the word ondol.
Oh, even outside of, in America.
I don't know. Okay. In school, because I went to architecture school. Yeah, professors would describe it as Korean ondol. I don't know if they, like the construction workers would say ondol, but they call it underfloor heating.
Yeah, that's underfloor heating. Wait, do they call it underfloor heating or ondol?
They call it underfloor heating.
Yes,
but
okay,
technically, I think people who have more knowledge would call it ondol.
Jun, I think because you're bringing your Korean culture in mind, you're probably extra aware of the chance to call it ondol. I'd be shocked if Americans that aren't Korean ever call underfloor heating ondol.
Okay, for the American audience who have underfloor heating at their houses, just want to say you're welcome.
No, it's very common in my friend circle now to be, redoing their bathrooms and kitchens and things like that.
Yeah.
So one of the features that they are always debating, do we want to get heated floors in our bathroom? So that's what they just call it heated floors.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I would agree now, okay, that has reached a little bit, but it's not ubiquitous like it is in Korea. So.
I don't know if it's also a Korean American thing, but when I was doing the yuhak,
Yeah.
when the yuhaksengs are trying to get like their accommodations, houses, they always look for underfloor heating.
Could you find it back then? Were there apartments with underfloor heating?
The more modern ones, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Even in the early 2000s?
Mid 2010s.
Yeah, mid 2010s.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you were okay.
Yeah.
That I believe. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. So I had one more that I wanted to bring up. Jun, now as a grown up, when you see that it's snowing, your first thought is blank.
As a grown up, okay, but we have to take into consideration that I don't drive.
Okay.
Maybe you're trying to say I have to clean up the house, in front of my house.
Oh no. Yeah.
It's like 짜증나.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go for my commute's gonna be a disaster. No initial thought. Just whatever.
I still like it.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
But I knew what you were trying to get at.
I wasn't trying to get at anything, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I mean, I was gonna share my own negative.
Number
thoughts,
one,
but-
I don't drive.
Yeah.
Number two, my work is 10 minutes walk away from where I live.
Yeah.
So my
You don't even
commute.
take the subway. That's right. Yeah. Definitely, my first thought is, so annoying. Well, okay, I can't say that. I will say my first thought is still by a very slim margin. Oh, I can't wait to go out and play with my kids because they're gonna love it.
Yeah.
But my immediate second thought is, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Right? Can't drive. Roads are dangerous. Right? Everything's going to be delayed. A disaster. Delivery's not going to get here on time. It's just like, wet clothes. Have to deal with all that. So, yeah. But I just wanted to compare and contrast the difference as kids.
Delivery thing is annoying. On Wednesday, I wanted to get dinner, but I couldn't get delivery from anywhere.
Yeah.
So I had to run down the store that is in my building, which I rarely do. But yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. I want to talk about snow days, but let's talk about something similar. Okay. I can bring these two together. Okay. Jun, did you have snow days growing up? And is the idea of, because of snow, like either canceling work, you did say your work became remote, right? People said work from home. So that's good. But I bring this up because when we were going to the local like bakery, in the morning after dropping off our fourth kid, I think, because their school was not canceled in Korea, despite this large amount of snow, the worker was there. And basically we're like, oh, how'd you get into work? Blah, blah, blah. He was like, I had to wake up 2 hours earlier than normal and find a way to get here.
Yeah.
Because, he can't like skip work or he can't miss it.
Yeah.
And just, I think, talking with some other Korean parents here, the idea of having school off because of snow is very foreign to them. So I wanted to talk about that because growing up, actually, if I were going to be honest with one of the earlier questions, as a kid, if you woke up or if you knew there was a chance of snow, the first thought was like, oh, is school going to be canceled? Is it going to be 2-hour delay of school? And even the night before, you'd like stay up and wait because there was always this thing of like, oh, when are they going to announce? When are they going to announce? You want to stay up and wait to find out if school is canceled. So, yeah, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on snow days and the idea of, missing work or whatever, missing school due to the weather.
Okay. School getting canceled for snow days is a very developed country thing.
Okay.
When I was growing up, there was never school being canceled for anything
For
ever.
anything, I
yeah.
see.
So
Okay.
even if it's heavy snow or whatever, you go to school.
Yeah.
It's a very developed country concept, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I find very interesting nowadays.
Yeah.
Even like work from home thing, I think it's a blessing of COVID almost,
Yeah.
right? Because it used to never work. Like, how would you do it?
But now it's part of the culture because of COVID.
Yeah, and,
interesting.
and also because I work in tech, it's more easy to transition to work from home. But yeah, it was never, I don't think it was ever a thing.
So the developed country thing doesn't resonate with me because the reason I was bringing it up a bit was I think traditionally in Korea, the mother stays at home. And so it's almost easier to have school canceled than have the kids stay home. Versus in America, when both parents are working, it's a disaster when school is canceled. Oh, one of us has to stay home. We have to find a babysitter. Like, how is this going to work logistically? So just from that perspective, I thought it might not have been as hard in Korea. But why do you say it's a developed country thing?
Because why do you cancel school when it's snowing? Because it's dangerous to commute?
It's mostly because in Korea, I think everyone walks to school traditionally. But in America, everyone's bussed in. And so the buses, it's just too dangerous. The roads are not in good shape.
Thinking about danger and caring about that's a developed country thing. No, I'm serious.
But prioritizing education, and that to me feels like an undeveloped country thing. And maybe I'm wrong about that. But it's like, when I kept my kid from school on Thursday, for me, it's like, who cares? It's one day.
Yeah.
But I think Koreans are like, how can they miss school? School's the most important thing, right? So it's a bit of a different... And I would say, because I know how much Koreans prioritize education, I understand.
Oh, it's not only about school, though. Even for work, nothing ever gets canceled.
There's just no luxury to cancel anything.
Yes. So,
you cannot afford to lose a day of education, a day of productivity, a day to make money, anything. Interesting. I never thought of it from that perspective.
I saw, like, in the Reels, showing a video clip of, like, the late 80s or 90s Korea, when it was, like, flood season.
Yeah.
I see people wearing, like, their full-on suits.
Yeah.
And they're, like, half of their body is submerged.
In the water.
And they're going to work.
That's a very interesting perspective. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I never thought of that as like a luxury thing. In fact, I thought it was the opposite. It's like, if it's like a agrarian society, they're not going to prioritize school. They can keep their kids home from school all the time. So yeah. Anyway, all right. Okay, I think we can move on then. Jun, what is the most snow you've ever had or experienced in your life?
As far as I remember, last week.
Really?
I think so. Oh, no. In Boston.
Yeah.
When the whole city was kind of locked down.
Yeah. Do you remember what year this was?
No. Might have been like 2011, 2012-ish. The entire city
Just
shut down. And I couldn't get any food.
Yeah.
The only one restaurant that was open in my neighborhood.
Asian restaurant?
Yes, the Chinese restaurant. I was so thankful.
For me,
the guy was like, what's the big deal? We have to open the restaurant.
Immigrants, we get the job done.
Yeah.
No, for me, it was 1996. Very, I think, famous blizzard on the East Coast in America.
Yeah.
June, I think school was canceled. I'm not kidding, for 3 weeks. Can you imagine that? It was to the point where for the rest of the remaining school year, they actually extended the school day by 1 hour for the remainder of the year to make up for all these days that we lost. But June, that was probably the most glorious time of my life. Just every day, just like playing in the snow, watching TV, staying at home. But yeah, I can imagine how hard it was on my parents. But anyway, yeah, it was a very core memory of mine that winter. Okay. Yeah, so June, this episode, beyond just talking about the first snow, I just thought we'd do kind of a daily life thing where we just talk about winter and Christmas and things like that. So.
Did we just end our long intro?
I think so. I don't think we introduced the topic yet, right? So
okay.
Anyway, after a very long
almost an hour
intro, let's just use the rest of the episode to talk about winter things and daily life here.
Okay.
So,
I have so many things I want to talk about.
Me too. This could be a 3-hour episode easy.
One is related to how Koreans prepare for the coldness in winter. This is definitely not a traditional Korean practice, but more of a recent practice.
Okay.
Is when your windows are not like double layered, if you will.
Okay.
Or like if your windows are not totally cold resistant. What you do is they sell a bubble wrap in a sheet form.
Okay.
And Korean people sometimes paste it over the window.
Oh, I've never seen that. Yeah.
So to act like an ad hoc insulation layer. Yeah, which I heard that like drastically will help the heating
Very
of your house.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think where I've lived, have always had these. I've talked about this before. This amazing double pane window system. So we've never thought about doing that. That's quite innovative. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, it's a very makeshift kind of simple and cheap way to have another layer of insulation.
Have you ever done this?
I think I have. Yeah.
Related, I remember, it's a long story, but I also heard another thing that happens in Korea is you can buy this like peel on tinting for your windows to make it super dark. I think for two purposes. One, so no one can see inside. Koreans love privacy. But two, it cuts down on air conditioned bills in the summer.
Oh, I've never heard of this.
Okay.
But I believe you.
It's a pain to get off apparently when you move out. But yeah, if I heard of it, it must not be super rare. Yeah.
Cool. Another thing that Korean people do to battle the coldness is 손난로.
What's that?
Like that little pouch thing that you sell in 편의점.
Oh, hot packs.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to talk about
If
this.
you shake it, it becomes hot.
Yeah, June. I remember the first winter. So we moved here first in summer, but the first winter, the first cold day, all these kids came to school with hot packs.
Yeah.
And this to me was like wild.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what you do when you're on the mountain all day snowboarding, right? For me, the thought of giving a kid a little hot pack every day, and even two, one for each pocket, one for each hand.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so overboard, like so extravagant. But then, very quickly we adopted it too. We just bought a bunch and started giving it to our kids. We're still not as diligent as the Korean parents, but that doesn't seem like overly extravagant to you.
Extravagant meaning that
that's a luxury. I mean, getting a hot pack every day to keep your hands warm for the brief period when you're waiting for your school bus or whatever.
But it's not that expensive, is it? It's like
I don't even know how much it is.
$1 or less than $1-ish per pack.
If it was $1, I would call that extravagant.
Really? Okay.
Every day giving your kid a hot pack? But that doesn't seem off to you.
Well, I never knew that parents do that every day. But like sometimes when it's like very cold and I know that I'm going to spend a lot of time outdoors, I would prepare a hot pack.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But is it part of your daily ritual in the winter? It's like, oh, get ready for work. I'm going to get my hot pack, keep my hands warm.
Okay. Number one, it was never a thing when I was growing up.
Oh,
there
sure
definitely
not, yeah.
were hot packs, but it wasn't a thing where parents give you 2 hot packs, one for each pocket every day. That was never a thing. But yeah, I can see parents doing that.
I could see it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've experienced it now. It'll be interesting if we move back to the US, whether we keep up with this or not. But yeah, the hot packs for sure, they're a thing. Yeah. June, you probably don't find it odd because you see it every winter. But I know it's winter or winter is coming in Korea when they start dressing the trees in those straw wrappers. And I think it's to keep some sort of bug away, right? But this to me was the most hilarious thing. It's like you're giving each tree a bit of clothing to keep it warm in the winter.
That's how it looks.
That's how it looks to me whenever I see this. And I thought it was hilarious. I was like, there must be some reason this is happening. But yeah, in Korea, every single tree, especially if it's like a maybe special or expensive tree, they put this little, about a foot tall, maybe a foot and a half, tall little straw wrapper around it. So it's just, to me, kind of, it stands out. Yeah.
I think that a lot of Koreans also wouldn't know what the purpose of that is. But yeah, I learned that it's not to keep the trees warm.
No, yeah.
It's for certain bugs that would
nest in the winter, right?
Yeah, so it gives them a place to kind of like nest and hibernate maybe, so that you can just like take it off. Yeah.
Anyway, that's definitely a very Korean or non-American thing. I've never seen it before. Okay, yeah, we can move on.
Okay, so in line with battling the coldness, I also wanted to get into fashion trends.
I know one for sure.
Winter. But I know that you're going to talk about the 롱패딩s, right?
Yeah.
But it was like kind of out of style last winter.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and maybe because last winter it was kind of the opposite. It was like the very short paddings. Yeah, everyone was wearing like North Face.
Yeah,
was suddenly in trend again as like kind of like a 90s vibe or like the 2000s vibe.
Good. I never got rid of my North Face from 2000 June.
Oh, nice.
So I wear it more proudly now.
North Face is, yeah, back in trend. I don't know how it is this winter, but yeah, as fashionable Korea is,
Yeah.
every winter has a different trend. So I think last winter, if you're wearing a long padding, it kind of
Yeah.
it kind of
You would've
made
stood
you
out.
feel out of fashion.
Got it.
Do you own a long padding?
No, I don't. My longest padding only goes a little bit past my waist, so I do not have the long padding. Yeah.
I never owned a long padding either.
What? Really?
No.
Oh, feels like I'm very genuinely surprised by that. Yeah. Any other fashion things?
Yes. There's another one.
What's that?
If it's really cold outside, I wear another layer of clothing inside my clothes,
Yeah.
which is called the 내복.
Oh, yeah. Long underwear, long johns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do
It's
you-
common, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think, I have nothing to say. I think it's quite common. I guess the one observation I'd make is, and this may be just the generational thing, the nebok in Korea feels very, I guess, more modern and fashionable.
Oh, is it?
But the typical nebok or long johns in America, it's kind of like dorky and like not fashionable at all. So yeah, that's the only thing I'd mention.
I think it's pretty similar, no?
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Traditionally,
Wait. Would you call this nebok then? Sorry, like this black thing? It is, right?
oh yeah, you're wearing a 내복.
Yeah. It's just fashionable. It's almost like dry fit, like under clothing.
But I think Americans would wear something like that too now.
Probably now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like 80s
Yeah.
long johns. It's just
Like in the 80s, Korean 내복s were red.
I
You
know,
that?
yeah,
That was
for
kind of interesting.
I feel like in America, it's very common to wear like a beanie around. But I think in Korea, they don't. And my take on that is Koreans care more about their hair and they want to make their hair look good. Like beanies mess up your hair.
Yeah.
Honestly, like this is kind of embarrassing. The thought did cross my mind. It's like, oh, I'm not going to wear my beanie today because I didn't want to mess up my hair. That actually crossed my mind in Korea, and it's never, I think, I never cared about that in America. But yeah, I just don't see as many beanies around. I see a
think-
lot more red ears, and people are cold, and because their ears aren't covered. Yeah.
I think that's a very interesting point because I think I mentioned this before when we were doing our media review about why Korean people put on their umbrellas when it's snowing.
I wrote that down too, by the way. Yeah.
That was one of my theories, is because I think Asian hair is easier to get messed up. And it's interesting because I think Koreans wear a lot more baseball caps than Americans.
They wear a good amount.
Yeah,
I'd say it's
but it's
equal.
because baseball caps is for you to wear for the entire day and
Yes,
never
yeah,
take
yeah,
it
you
off.
don't take it off, yeah.
But beanies, you kind of can't. I don't know why, but you don't usually have it on for the entire day.
You get too cold. You get too hot and sweaty if you keep it on all day.
So I think
indoors,
that's
yeah.
why Koreans don't wear beanies that much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think beanies don't really look good on Asian
Shapes.
head shapes.
My wife would agree with you, but
Yeah.
I am not observant enough to have an opinion. But June, I did want to at least mention the umbrellas again because I have another take on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it's snowing here, everyone puts out their umbrella. I find it, again, I still don't get it because I love the snow, the look, the feel, everything about snow. But I think one reason why they do it, it's because they have umbrellas with them. Because Koreans always carry an umbrella, I feel like, with them in their book bag.
They do?
Yeah, it's like a small one, right, in their backpack. I don't know. At least I think Koreans, because of the rain, they're more, they don't like the rain as much or won't let the rain fall on them. They have an umbrella on them more often than not. And if you have one on you, I could see me using one if I have it on me. I'll just never prepare or plan ahead to have it with me, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm a little bit less judgmental than I was before of like, why does everyone put up their umbrellas? It's like, if I had one, maybe I'd use one now too. Anyway, that's my quick take on it. But it still throws me for a loop every time it's snowing and I just see everyone with their umbrellas out. It's not I don't know, snow's not a big deal to me at all. Yeah.
But like last week when it was snowing like crazy,
Yeah.
would you have your umbrella on or not?
No.
No?
If I had an umbrella, maybe I would have thought about using it.
You knew how heavy it was snowing, right?
I love the snow, Jun. Yeah.
It's like one thing where you love the snow. And last week, it was like almost your vision was impaired almost.
That's when you put on your hood and then
Oh my
you let
God.
the snow fall off your jacket, your waterproof jacket, Jun.
Interesting. Okay. The next thing I wanted to talk about was food. I mean, we did mention the 방어회
And strawberries.
and strawberries, but there's another seafood type thing that
Yeah.
Korean people eat during the winter,
Yeah.
which I don't think you might have heard about.
Probably not.
과메기?
Kwapeki. That sounds familiar. What is that? Not kwapeki. That's the churros type donut.
Oh yeah, it's a seafood where I think it's more of a Gyeongsangdo region food where you dry it's a gongchi, which I learned that it's called saori. Do you know what a saori is?
No, but I know what gongchi is. Comes in
Okay.
the can. You put it in jjigae.
Yeah, but the one that's not in the can, right?
Uh-huh.
The fresh one, you dry it
Yeah.
in like the winter breeze.
Yeah.
And then it becomes very like almost like a jerky type thing.
Okay,
And then you
okay.
eat it wrapped with seaweed.
Oh,
It is
never
kind
had
of like
that.
a delicacy.
So that's a winter food here.
That and also more traditionally than strawberries, the winter fruit that you have in Korea is 귤.
Oh, oranges, really? Tangerines?
귤.
귤 is
Not necessarily
oranges.
oranges.
귤 is translated to oranges.
No.
What?
Oranges are like this big and they're like
Mandarins? So
In-
귤 is only the smaller one?
Yeah.
Tangerines?
oranges we call orange.
No, wait. Is this true? I feel like I've been using 귤 to represent oranges and tangerines my whole
Okay,
life.
Daniel, you're probably one of the only people that I've met, or
Yeah.
you're probably the like very few people who don't differentiate oranges and 귤.
Oh, I just thought the word 귤 was for both.
No,
Oh, okay.
oranges are called orange.
Yeah.
귤s are the small ones.
Oh, interesting.
That's so interesting.
No, I feel like I would have observed this before. Like, oh, you want some 귤? And they hand me an orange. So I'm like, oh, 귤 is orange.
No,
Just the smaller mandarins.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's so it's so interesting that you thought 귤 was an orange.
Yeah, I mean, I would have assumed I would have figured out that my understanding was wrong before now, but
Yeah. Anyways, 귤 is a cure. So you have 귤s in winter because that's when you harvest it.
Yeah.
And 귤 was a very abundant winter fruit because it's supplied locally in Korea, which is very rare. It's kind of like a tropical fruit.
yeah.
But it's because they have Jeju,
Jeju, yeah, they're
where,
famous.
Yeah, everyone has like their 귤 farm.
The
So-
halabongs, right?
Halabongs are more of like the recent luxurious cousin of the 귤.
Okay.
But when I was growing up, because it's different from nowadays where you have access to a lot of different varieties of fruit that you can have during winter. But when I was growing up, it was like in winter, it was like only a handful of fruit that you can have. And one of them was a 귤.
귤.
So you usually buy it in bulks,
Yeah.
like boxes.
Oh, yeah.
And you would consume it throughout the winter.
Yeah.
And sometimes after winter break, you see some kids have like very yellow faces. Because when you have a lot of 귤, your skin becomes yellow.
Oh, definitely like your fingernails get all the stuff in it.
Yeah.
Gene, I think, I'm not kidding. I've eaten the whole box of 귤 in one sitting before.
A whole box?
Whole box.
Like
It must have been like 30 gyurs. Yeah.
like
Like the crate. It's not
oh,
that
that
big.
thing.
A smaller
Oh,
crate.
when I said box, like I meant like the real big boxes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, you like 귤s that
I
much?
take a lot of pride. I always peel it in one peel. Yeah.
You peel in one peel.
Then I stack them up. One time I made the mistake of I ate a whole bag of salt and vinegar chips along with the 귤. Oh, my mouth, it was bad. It was too much acid, citrus, something.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
So bad. Anyway, core memories.
And then I wanted to get into 딸기 a little bit more.
Okay.
Because another recent Korean trend related to 딸기 is that this is more, I think, of a spring season thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, hotels have strawberry buffets.
Yes, I've seen this. Yeah.
To be honest, I've never been to one.
Me neither. Yeah.
I just heard that it's like a very extravagant strawberry themed dessert buffet kind of thing that I think started with like one hotel and become such a sensation. And now it's become a thing where all the luxury hotels host.
Yeah. It's up there with like mango binsu and then strawberry dessert buffets. It's definitely a thing.
Yeah,
I've
and then
seen
there's
them.
one more hotel thing that I want to get into later.
Yeah.
But yes, it's in summer it's like the mango
binsu.
bingsu, and I think it's springtime. It's the strawberry buffet.
Festival. Yeah, it's like I want to say it's at least 70,000, if not more. So roughly 50 US. And it's just again, I've never been. I've seen the pictures. Every single dessert has strawberries incorporated into it.
Yes.
But who would pay $50 just to eat a bunch of strawberry desserts?
Yeah, I think it's more of a
It's a date
dating
thing.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never been to one. Okay, let's get into that now.
Okay.
Another
The hotel.
winter hotel culture is we have to get into Christmas culture here, but it's a thing where Koreans eat cake in Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh, so Christmas cakes are a thing in Korea. So everyone like reserves a cake for Christmas because Christmas is more of a dating couple celebratory day.
Yeah.
So I think it's like having a cake is kind of suits the vibe, I guess.
Okay.
It wasn't a thing when I was growing. I say this a lot. So a lot of cultures are modern, I think. But starting from like 20 years ago, it became
Yeah.
a thing.
Sorry, how is this a hotel culture though?
Oh, because hotels, as Koreans like to do, like they take it to the extreme
Yeah.
and try to get like the most extravagant, luxurious cake as possible. And now like hotel Christmas cakes are a thing.
Oh, so you go to the hotel to have that cake?
No, you buy it from a hotel.
Oh, from the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. You bring it home?
Yeah. So like every winter they announce like these are all what like the top 5 hotels have for their Christmas
Wow, yeah.
cake. And I saw in the news that this year, of course, like every year it's becoming more expensive and expensive because the more expensive it is, it sells better.
Yeah,
It sells
in
more.
Korea, yeah.
So I think one of the top luxury hotels in Korea is the Silla Hotel, the Samsung branch hotel. They are going to sell a 40만 원,
40만. Oh my goodness.
so like $300
yeah, yeah.
Christmas cake,
Dang.
which is called something luxury.
How much does it feed? How many people can eat that? Enjoy that $300 Christmas cake?
Feels like it for the look, by the looks of it, it's like 4 people worth. And has like truffles and whatever.
Truffles
Yeah,
in a dessert cake?
Yeah.
That sounds not good to me.
but they probably made it.
I'm sure it's going to
taste
be good,
yeah.
but it just doesn't sound great. Yeah.
So that's a winter thing. I've never had a hotel Christmas cake before.
Jun,
It's for
have
the
you heard of a fruit cake?
a fruit cake.
Do you know what a fruit cake is?
Yes. It's not like what a Korean person would imagine what a cake is, right? It's more like a bread.
Bread, yeah. I'm just saying it's your quintessential Christmas gift in America. It's kind of a joke now.
Yeah.
Because it's like no one really wants a fruitcake.
Because
But
it's not
less-
good.
You know, it's good, but it's big, it's a lot, it's dense. And it's not great. Like you said, it's more like firm. It's like more of a bread type dessert thing. But you know, if you don't eat it, it gets really hard too. But it's like almost a joke now. It's like, you give someone a fruit cake almost as a joke gift nowadays. But growing up, it was not a joke gift. It's like what people did and gave to each other. Anyway, just wanted to see if you knew what a fruit cake was.
In Korean, I think Korean people would call that a pound cake
With fruit in it though.
with fruit with
like
like
the
dried fruit in it.
Yeah, with the dried like jelly fruits.
Yeah.
It's very an odd thing.
Yeah.
To be clear, I don't think I've eaten one in 20 years. But it's like it's very Christmassy in America. Yeah, or at least that's what it was.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to talk about in terms of food that you have in winter, and we can't underestimate the street food culture in winter,
Okay.
which is the 붕어빵, 군고구마, and 군밤,
Yes. Okay.
and sometimes 호떡. And also odeng.
Oh, I feel like those last two are more year round, but I can agree they're extra delicious when it's cold outside.
Yes. So 붕어빵 is, how would you describe it?
Red bean. It doesn't have to be red bean, but it's like a fish shaped pastry. No.
Yeah, fish. Yeah. Is there something equivalent to that in the States? Kind of like a
Pop-Tart.
But it's baked on the spot, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
extra good and crispy.
So good.
But it's, I don't know why, but it's in a shape of a fish.
Jun, can I ask, is there a difference between 붕어빵 and 잉어빵?
They say that there is.
Okay.
The shape is kind of different, but
Are they? They're
yeah,
both
the
fish.
잉어빵 is kind of like more long and bigger.
I've not noticed that. Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Okay.
not much of a difference in my
Good.
opinion.
Good. I don't.
Yeah.
I always call it 붕어빵, and then I see signs for 잉어빵.
Yeah.
And it's like it looks just like a 붕어빵.
I think it's just a marketing scheme.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to refuse, June, when you walk by one of these stands. It's cold outside. You see the line.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's like so cheap too.
Yeah.
3 for each on one, $2.
3 for each on Koreans, people would say they always complain it
Now,
came too
yeah.
expensive.
But that is the standard rate now. 3
Yeah.
for 2. Yeah.
Yeah, and then 군 고구마, where it's like baked sweet potato.
Yeah.
Traditionally, it's like baked in a makeshift oven that's made out of, in Korea, we call it 드럼통.
Okay. Like a
the
metal.
oil barrel kind of thing.
uh-huh.
Metal oil barrel.
yeah.
They would like makeshift create it into a street food oven type thing.
Oh, I don't think I've ever eaten one from one of those. Yeah, it's always
don't
in more
think-
of a modern fancy.
Yeah, I don't
oven
think
type.
they exist anymore almost. But now they sell it in 편의점s too.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Yeah, have you seen like those like mini ovens that have like the pebbles, like the stones?
Yeah. Oh,
They smell
good.
so
the
good.
smell is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then kunbam, which is baked
Chestnuts.
Yes. These are all like winter season street foods in Korea.
That last one's a very classic American thing too, right?
Chestnuts.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Yeah. So I also loved eating chestnuts growing up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then culture/leisure things that Korean people do.
Uh-huh.
Number one, of course, they go to ski resorts.
Yes.
Have you been to a Korean ski resort?
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Were there anything different from your typical American ski resort?
They were, of course, hyper efficient, right? You give them your measurements and they'll give you the boots and the whole set, right? I found it quite affordable to rent compared to what I'm used to as well. Other than that, it was very crowded. And yeah, my minor complaint, it's not really a complaint, but my observation is I've not seen a single big mountain, I'd call it, in Korea. All these resorts, I think the steepest runs are blue. I haven't seen any true blacks. And yeah, they're short runs. So and I even went to where I think Pyeongchang, where the Olympics were hosted. 6 years ago now? I don't know. So I was expecting more. I was really looking forward to it. But yeah, it was still fun, very convenient and accessible. But I wish the mountains were bigger, is what I'm saying.
I see. Are you more of a snowboarder or a skier?
Yeah, so I snowboard. And then that was another thing too. There weren't any like parks here where, the best thing about snowboarding is doing tricks and things like that. So no ramps, no jumps, no rails, like nothing like that. So I don't think snowboarding is as popular here, or at least that is not as popular here in Korea. So yeah, again, overall for what you pay and how accessible it is, it was fun. Like I really enjoyed myself. But again, for me at least, it doesn't compare to some of the big American mountains.
I see.
Tahoe, Colorado, things like that. Yeah. Utah.
There's a very interesting ski culture when it comes to colleges.
Okay.
As far as what I experienced, there's a ski camp culture in when I was in college.
What is that? Yeah.
It's like during winter break, you go to like a 3-day ski trip, which they call ski camp,
Okay.
where like technically you're supposed to learn skiing, I guess, for school credit.
Oh,
Yeah.
for school credit?
Yeah.
What?
So it's super popular,
Who's not going to do that?
but it's not popular for the school credits though.
I know.
Do you know what they do? Because you go with your entire school
Yeah.
and you rent out one whole building of like a condo
Yeah.
in the ski resort. So like the entire building is filled with your schoolmates,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so what you do is this thing called 방팅.
Okay, okay.
It's one of like the ting
Like
series.
meeting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
meeting, but
소개팅,
it's like
meeting.
방팅. It's like
In
your room
rooms,
team.
yeah.
What you do is like, because you have like your like interphone, like your intra like
Oh,
phones.
yes, 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 yeah.
So you just randomly call some room and say like, do you want to do 방팅?
Yeah.
And like they would come and then like you would have like a drinking occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think this still exists today?
I want
It
it
feels like
to.
such a 90s thing to me.
Maybe
yeah.
it's a 90s thing.
I mean,
It's
it
so
sounds
much fun.
awesome. Yeah, it sounds so much fun. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that is a modern Korean, more of like a Seoul culture, Christmas, Seoul, winter culture,
Yeah.
is the famous Christmas decorations hosted by these famous department stores.
I know one of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There are two that are very famous in Seoul right now. Number one is the Hyundai department store.
Yeah.
The Hyundai.
The Hyundai, yeah.
It's I think the most recent department store that has opened, and which is probably the biggest department store in Korea. I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Yeah.
They have like this very vast indoor plaza type thing on the very upper floor, where in the winter they would create it as like a little like
Winter wonderland.
Yeah, winter wonderland kind of theme decoration. Man, last year I wanted to go there.
You didn't go.
I didn't want to go there for the decorations,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
had an occasion to go there.
Yeah.
I was like, why not? I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to have a visit. There were like 600 people in front of me.
Oh, so you tried to go there,
Yeah.
but you couldn't.
I'm not even kidding. 600 people. So I couldn't even get in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very well decorated. And the other one is the Myeongdong Shinsegae department store.
That's the one I was aware
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Where
It's like the
they-
big LCD display outside.
Yeah. They plaster the entire building with LED display, and they have like the Christmas visual effects
Going on. Yeah. That's a good way to describe it.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I find it kind of tacky.
Yeah.
The visuals are not that good. It's kind of 촌스러워, but I don't know why people really like that.
I don't like the fact that it's digital. Yeah, I'd rather have like a more traditional, like American Christmas setup, right? With trees and lights and decorations and that like that, more than like a digital display.
Yeah. Yeah. And then one other thing I wanted to mention is how different work culture is during the year ends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that American workplaces, they almost like take the last 2 weeks of December off.
Yeah.
Kind of following like even starting before Christmas, leading into Christmas and all the way up to year end, right? Whereas Korean companies don't really consider the year end very differently. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I wanted to get into this then, maybe as one of our final topics. You know, despite, like you said, Christmas itself in Korea is more of a couples thing, less a family thing.
Yeah.
But in America, it's not just Christmas. Of course, that day is important. But the season from Thanksgiving through New Year's is just called the holiday season, right? And it's a whole month of a holiday vibe. And I don't get that at all in Korea. So I wanted to get your thoughts on this, right?
Yeah.
Like Christmas in America, it's about, you know, of course, reflecting on the year, but it's also about, you know, doing good, you know, giving, charitable giving, volunteering, serving and things like that. So I wanted to talk about that. Like, is there any sort of vibe for December in Korea? I don't see it, but again, I'm not integrated deeply into it.
I think it's much more commercial than it is in the States. It's all about like the Christmas decorations and there is sort of an exciting vibe, but it's not, it's because to start with, it's not a traditional Korean holiday. So it's an imported holiday, if you will.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of meaning to it other than people who go to church.
Which we'll get into.
Okay.
I guess I was surprised by that because at this point, I would say Korea is just as Christian, quote unquote, as America. So I guess a part of me was wondering why there isn't more of a general Christmas spirit in Korea during this month. Again, just doing good, being joyful and merry and, you know, giving gifts to each other and things like that. But yeah, I don't know why it doesn't seem to have extended beyond maybe the Christian community in Korea to be a more widespread culture. Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily agree to the fact that Korea is as Christian as it is in the States, because I think Christian values and culture is very much more integrated into the roots of American culture.
That is very true.
Whereas in Korea, it's just a lot of people going to church, and I think there's a difference, like where like their everyday value and like the entire, I guess, roots of the nation itself is somehow integrated with Christianity.
That makes sense.
In Korea, it's like still it's a foreign religion though.
Would you ever, as a non-churchgoer, would you ever consider going to church on Christmas? Is that like a thing culturally? Because in America, there's this term for, I think it's slightly offensive, but it's C&E Christians, or twice a year Christians. C is for Christmas, E is for Easter.
I see.
So you go to church, but it's like a cultural thing. You're not religious, but just this thing you do on those holidays. Is that at all a thing in Korea?
This is a weird thing, but I would go to, if I were to be in the States or in Europe, I think I could visit a church to feel the vibe of Christmas.
Yeah.
But in Korea, I think there's a kind of a different stigma going to church if you're in Korea.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a religion to you. Versus in Europe or in the States, it's more cultural. It's more, I think, low key than in Korea. So I wouldn't go to church in Korea if I
see.
if
That's
I'm
just
not
you don't feel welcome to go like casually just to observe the Christmas spirit or Easter spirit. Okay, interesting. Okay, I think I had a bunch of things I wanted to go through.
Yeah.
So I'll just start with this. This was another daily life thing. So we actually are getting to the ducks and the other molds.
Cool.
So this is so ubiquitous in Korea. Again, the first snow or first winter, they have these plastic molds that you can like clamp down with two hands, and it forms these perfectly packed snow things.
Yeah.
And it is cute and it's fun. But look, snow is made to just play and have fun, right? Just not even think about it. But these molds make the perfect snow molds.
Yeah.
And it just felt very almost artificial, I would say. So who cares if, to be clear, it's fun. Like we got a set, we use them, our kids love them. It gives you something to do. But the output is like, again, this perfect mold. And it's just like, anyway, it's just something I'll just observe I'd never seen before. Again, I love them. Would I bring them back to America? I think it'd be fun, but it's definitely not a thing. Whereas here it's ubiquitous. Yeah.
My explanation to that is a combination of two different things. Number one, I think East Asian culture in general, or like Asian culture in general, has more appreciation to cuteness, cutesy things.
I think so. Yeah.
So I think if you see like a little snow duck, and
or
they're
100
like
of them,
they're like in line. I think
it's cute.
It's kind of cute and funny in a very Asian way. So I think that's what's appealing to Koreans. And also, I think probably the only reason that people do that is to post it on Instagram. Because there's like, why would you do that, right?
Yeah. It's something nice about like anyone can create something beautiful too. You don't have to be artistic. Also, it keeps your hands from like getting cold. Like it's just a mold.
I can't imagine anyone doing that and not posting on Instagram.
Hey, Jun, our kids do it all the time and we don't post. It is fun to make a little setup.
But you're American.
Okay. Let me keep going through some things. Okay, Jun, is there an equivalent of mistletoe? Do you know what mistletoe is?
Yes.
So again, traditionally you hang it up, and if you're under it, you have to kiss. I thought Koreans would love this. Hear me out. Korea is a very not PDA society, right? You don't publicly kiss as much, and it's not very, traditionally I think you don't kiss in public. But I feel like Koreans love or would appreciate an excuse to do so. Does that make sense? It's just like, so I thought Korean society would actually really take to mistletoe as a thing, maybe. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know if Koreans have an underlying desire to kiss in public, though.
But just like to, what's the right word? Get close with other people, right? Like, let's say you're in college and like you have a crush on someone. I don't know. It's the way that Koreans will give chocolate on Valentine's Day, right? It's like, it's a thing you do, so it makes it easier for you to do it on that day.
Oh.
In that sense, I thought mistletoe would be more, people would like it in Korea.
Oh, I see what's the difference here. Korean people don't kiss if you have a crush on someone.
Oh, ever.
No. I mean, they would do it when they're drunk and they're whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not a thing where I think I can definitely see people giving chocolates to people that you have a crush on, but you won't kiss them.
Too upfront, like too much.
Yeah.
I see.
It would feel very offensive.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Or like abuse, kind of.
Like, I get it. Like, European culture is even on more extreme. I think they even greet with a kiss sometimes, like some cultures in Europe. That to me is too much.
Yeah.
But you're saying even like, but if you're a couple, right? Like,
if you're a couple, you would.
Okay.
But then if you're a couple, you don't need an excuse to do that.
I guess. But you'd want an excuse almost to kiss, no?
I don't know.
This is a bit tying together another thing we talked about before, right? If you go to a sporting event, they always, at one part during a timeout or whatever, they have the kiss cam.
Yeah.
Right? Would that ever fly in Korea, you think? Would that be popular?
They have it in Korea.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
So they do kiss.
Yes.
See, mistletoe to me would be like the Christmas version of a evergreen kiss cam. It's just like, oh, there's mistletoe, let's kiss. I don't know. Anyway, I thought Koreans would like it, but it's definitely, to be clear, it's not that ubiquitous in America either.
Yeah.
But just the idea of it is very ubiquitous in the culture. Jun, do you know what a poinsettia tree is or plant?
Yes.
I don't see them in Korea as much. This is like, is it very common?
I don't think it's that uncommon though, because I see a lot of, if you pass by the flower shops.
Yeah, you see them selling them. Okay. So it's the same here. Yeah, definitely like the plant of Christmas. You just see them everywhere.
My mom loved them. So when I was growing up, we always had them.
Even back then, it was common.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they look good, but they don't last for long, right? They only last for the winter.
Yes.
That part.
It's a very seasonal holiday tree plant. Putting up Christmas trees is not a thing, or is it?
It's
Did you
become
put up
more
a
of
Christmas tree growing up?
Yes, I did. And I think a lot of households do that nowadays.
Okay. I'm just like looking around at windows at night and I don't see too much decorated.
It's not as ubiquitous as it would be in the States.
But it's not uncommon is what you're saying. Okay. How about the like lights and decorations and wreaths? What was your typical Christmas setup growing up?
I think putting up Christmas decorations has become more of a thing nowadays than when I was growing up. But I think Korean people, about the Christmas tree thing, it's the difference in house sizes. Because Korean houses tend to be smaller than American houses. So naturally, there aren't you don't have the luxury of space to put on a big Christmas tree. So they have like more creative inventions where it's like a flat thing where you like put on the wall.
Yeah.
So they have like their own renditions
of holiday decorations. Yeah.
One time at work, we had like a wreath making like 1-day class thing as an event for Christmas.
At a Korean company.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's definitely a thing here.
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't see them around, and so I wasn't aware. Is there a thing between getting a real Christmas tree versus a fake Christmas tree every year? Is that
that thing I wanted to get into, because there aren't a concept
There's
of
no
a
concept.
Real Christmas tree in Korea.
That's what I thought.
Which I miss in the States, because the smell.
The smell, it fills the whole house.
Yeah.
To be fair, too, growing up, I never had a real tree. But as I became older, I think trying to adopt more maybe traditional American things for my family. Yeah, we got a real tree once or twice. It's totally different vibe. Yeah. Getting rid of it's so annoying too.
I never done it myself. But I know it as a concept, which I really like. Is going to Christmas tree shopping.
Yes, you go
and
get the tree, pick it out.
Pick the good Christmas tree. And there's also a very eerie scene that you see the day after Christmas where people leave out the trees outside their street.
Yeah. Every house has a tree outside that they're throwing out.
Almost looks like a dead body.
I cannot agree to that. I don't get the dead body vibe, but I do think, man, what a waste in a sense.
Yes.
Like all these houses spent $100 getting a tree and then just throwing it out. But it's totally it changes the whole feel of the house when you have a real tree. Stockings, putting up stockings, not a thing, right?
I think people with
Kids
would do it.
Okay. I like stocking stuffers and things like that. But I was gonna say, because stockings typically are hung on the fireplace, and Korean houses don't have them.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
maybe
they have
there's
the
no
fake
stocking
ones.
thing. Oh, do they?
Yeah, they
I've
have
never
the
seen-
fake fireplace decorate. Like it's like a wooden or like a plastic fireplace,
But it's
thing
not
that's
functional.
It's not functional at all.
Yeah. Okay, cookies and milk. Leaving out cookies and milk for Santa.
No.
Oh, Santa Claus himself, not very present in Korea. I think I've noted this before. But I think it's you're extra aware of it when you have kids. Because again, a very typical American tradition is you take your kids to Santa and the kids are crying on Santa's lap or whatever. But yeah, I don't think it's as common in Korea. I do see Santa stations here and there. So it's not completely absent. But it's, I don't think, a big thing. In that regard too, like for me at least, I wanted to hear your thoughts on this. Christmas has gotten a lot more almost complicated than when I was a child. When I was a kid, you just got gifts on Christmas. Of course, setting up the tree, hanging up lights, decorating the house, and taking them down later is a thing. But nowadays, there's like Elf on the Shelf. Have you heard of that?
What's an elf on the shelf?
To be honest, I don't completely know, but it's like an elf I don't know. I'm not even going to try to explain it. Yeah, but Elf on the Shelf is another way that you get your kids to interact with Christmas. There's an advent calendar, which I think has always been a thing, but now it's really popular, I think.
What's an advent calendar?
It's in the 25 days leading up to Christmas. Every day you like open up a thing and you get a chocolate, or it's like a small thing you do every day leading up to the Christmas day.
That's cute.
I mean, it's all awesome, but it's just gotten so much.
I think it kind of annoys you because you're a parent.
Annoying is not the right word, but
you have the
definitely
pressure
a lot more.
to do it. Yeah.
So my question to you though is, Christmas over the years, right, from 30 years ago versus today, like how do you think it's changed? Do you feel like there's a trend, or has it gotten more complicated, less complicated, more serious, less serious? Yeah.
Yeah. Again, Christmas is not a family thing in Korea, so there's so much that you can extend onto it.
But you got gifts from your parents growing up, right?
Yes.
At least that was like the minimum, right?
Yes. But it's not like a traditional thing that like every parents feel the pressure to do anyway. So I guess it's a bit more low key. In terms of the couples culture, it became more extravagant in like as you can see in like the 40만 원 $300 Christmas
cake. Sounds that way.
But it's never like a very over the top extravagant thing in Korea. Yeah.
Cool. There are certain flavors or smells, I think, that you associate with Christmas beyond, pine and that fresh smell.
Yeah.
Peppermint seems to always come around in Christmas time.
Oh, because of the candy canes?
Yeah, candy cane. I don't think peppermint would be popular in Korea. It'd be very divisive, like mint chocolate. Yeah.
There's always peppermint tea if you go to cafes.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So at least the flavors here. But
it's not like a winter or Christmas
not a winter thing. Okay, definitely a winter thing. Gingerbread cookies, gingerbread. That smell of gingerbread.
No.
Absent from Korea. And then eggnog.
No.
I have to be honest, I've never even tried eggnog. I don't think. Maybe I have. But yeah, eggnog, putting spiced eggnog.
Eggnog is basically like a custard drink, is it?
Yeah,
right?
And then you can put alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Okay, final thing. And this is more, I don't know why I thought of it, but there's so many rivers around Korea. I think this is maybe why I thought of it. And Hangang itself, like the Han River, it can freeze, right? Has it ever frozen completely?
I don't know if it's been frozen completely, because it's a very wide,
yeah, that's kind of what I was
river.
thinking.
So maybe like the shore part of it might have been frozen.
But do people ever like ice skate on frozen rivers or lakes? Is that like a thing you did growing up?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Like the traditional sled thing that I described.
Yes, exactly.
That's what you do in frozen lakes and rivers too. But nowadays, I think people are overly cautious about like danger, like safety issues. I might feel like they would ban people from doing that. Yeah.
The only reason I bring this up is, I know in Canada, for example, when it's winter, the lakes freeze over, they play ice hockey. And in Korea, I know, as a country, everyone knows speed skating. So I think might have skates. So I just could see there being something there. When the lakes freeze over, get your ice skates and go skating on the lake. But
I heard that my dad was growing up, he used to do that. But not a lot of households have skate.
Same in America. Yeah. Oh, wait, but a lot of Koreans grow up doing speed skating, though.
But they just rent it at the place. They don't own one. So that they can, yeah.
Okay. If you're gonna rent one every day, doesn't it make sense to buy a pair for yourself?
But they don't do it every day, though. It's like almost like going to a ski resort. It's like a one-time event thing, almost.
Oh, but I guess I was thinking all the people growing up trying to like be a speed skater. Is that not a thing?
I don't think so.
I remember asking though. My friend, he said growing up he did speed skating. And
I did, but it wasn't like a prevalent thing.
I thought it was pretty common for Korean kids to have it. That's why I thought of it. Okay, I thought maybe if everyone has ice skates, skating on frozen lakes and rivers was a thing, but. Jun, the other thing that I always associated with Christmas growing up was, like some Snoopy Christmas theme movie, Peanuts on TV.
Yeah.
Of course, Home Alone is a classic. I think It's a Wonderful Life is even before my generation. But these are like your quintessential Christmas movies.
Yes.
Are there any equivalents in Korea?
When I was growing up, it was Home Alone.
Ah, yes, Home Alone.
Yeah,
okay.
but I think more recently, it's Love Actually.
Oh, really?
Yes.
In Korea?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Love Actually is a classic Christmas movie.
Yeah. I think it's more appealing to the Korean audience for Christmas because it's like a couples thing.
Oh,
Love Actually is more about the love. Yeah.
Less about family, more about couples.
Yes.
And Christmas in Korea is couples. Okay, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So I think that brings us to the end of our, snow, winter, daily life episode. Yeah. It was fun. I learned a lot. And yeah, I guess, again, I grew up in the East Coast with the Four Seasons, but having lived in California for so long, being in Korea, experiencing the Four Seasons again, having snow outside your house to play with, it's definitely super nostalgic for me. And I love it. I love, I know fall is my favorite season, but winter I think it's more special in Korea than it was in California. That's for sure.
It suits your character that I don't know why that fall is your favorite season. I have just one random question about snow.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you recognize any difference in the snow consistency?
Wow. Okay. Can't believe you asked that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I think
the reason why I'm asking is because in our recent episode about the umbrellas, putting on your umbrellas during snow.
Yeah.
I think in the comments, some people claim that Korean snow consistency is different. That's why.
Okay. So I don't know if my observation's in line with that conclusion because actually especially when it's fresher snow in Korea, and again, this may be true in America, but I just observed it in Korea. It's hard to pack. It doesn't pack well. So
in Korea?
Yeah, in Korea. So I'm like trying to pack it, doesn't make a snowball, falls apart.
Meaning it's more dry and powdery?
Dry and fluffy, yeah, exactly. Dry and puffy, yeah. It's definitely drier, so it doesn't pack well. And this is another really random thing. But, once it got cold, I realized when I blow out, you can't see your breath as much in Korea as what I'm used to. And that, I did a little research. That happens when the air is more dry.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, I think in Korea, the snow is definitely drier. But that for me would be even more reason not to care about it falling in your hair. It just kind of falls off. It doesn't stick to you.
Because some people in the comments claim that Korean snow is
stickier,
wetter.
I have not observed that. Again, I might be wrong. But yeah, it's quite frustrating to try to pack snowballs to throw at your kids. And then you can't pack it. Yeah. It makes even making snowmen harder, which makes actually the snowmen I've seen even more impressive. Anyway, you just got to know what to do, Jun. If you dig deeper, that snow packs better usually.
Oh.
So yeah, just anyway. Okay, that brings us to the end of this episode. As always, if you would like to support the podcast, please consider supporting us on Patreon as a patron. For the lowest tier of $1 a month, you get access to our exclusive Discord where you can discuss episodes, propose future topics, and just generally, find some community with other listeners as well. Thank you to all our Patreon subscribers. Again, goes a long way to keeping us motivated and keeping the lights on. Thank you.
And our discussions on Discord has become, again, more and more lively.
Yes, I like
love
it.
the conversations.
We need to be more involved too, I think.
Sorry. I'm guilty in that.
No, yeah. There are, again.
I think I just like leave it up to you sometimes.
No, it's not only that. There's like emails and things. Sometimes I feel behind. So just know that if you've written out to us, reached out to us, is really meaningful to us to read every bit of, whether it's a Instagram DM or an email or a Discord message. So yeah, I think that's what keeps me the most motivated for sure. Okay.
Right.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
See you next week. Bye.
Because there's a process in gimjang where you have to soak it in brain, the cabbage.
Oh, brine.
Oh, brine, sorry.
Brain. I was like, pig brain?
No.
Brain?
Where you have to soak the... Okay, let's do it again. This is for the bloopers.
Yeah.